with.
Okay. Well, I mean, do what he do, right? Still looks nice. Still looks
Just
good.
just poodling it today, see? Right.
How was your day?
My day was okay. Today was okay. The week was rough. But leading up to here, but today was good. Today
Yeah,
was everybody
yeah,
was better,
yeah.
apparently.
Today was good for me too. Last couple of days, over the weekend and a couple of days on Monday, we couldn't do it because I was just so freaking tired, just so frustrated with work and stuff like that. And
Everyone
then,
is telling me the same thing, so I'm starting to wonder if there was something going on within I don't know, astrologically with the moon or whatever.
and then my
Go
allergies
ahead.
are kicking in. I'm sneezing.
People are getting allergies now. Yes, I'm so excited. I'm seeing everything bloom, but I don't get affected. Like I'm one of the very, very few rare people that really just enjoys that there's flowers and green now, and
Well,
I don't get affected.
I'm happy I'm getting mine now because it's gonna hit everybody in March or April. So I'll be fine when that time comes. I'll just
Right.
be laughing at
Get to
everybody. So
then enjoy.
I'm getting mine right now. So it's all good. All right. So kick us off, Marty. Let's start.
All right. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Movie Unboxing with Marty and Bola. We are a writer, director, and actor, and an actress and a writer. And each week we dive into a film to unbox how it was made and what makes it tick, talking about the movie from a filmmaker's perspective.
All right. So the movie that we're gonna be unboxing today is The Gorge. The poster
Gorge.
right there. The Gorge.
Did
It
not know
stars.
what to expect because I hadn't
Ooh,
heard of it.
ooh. I did not know what to expect until I watched it, and I was like, "Yo." This is we gotta talk about this. Well, anyway, The Gorge is it fair to say like it's a action thriller?
I
Is it
want to say, yeah, I think genre would be action.
okay?
Yeah.
It's an action thriller, and it stars what's this guy's name? I got my notes here.
Oh,
It
shoot.
stars Miles Teller. People might remember him from the new Top Gun movie. The
That's
new Top
right.
Gun Maverick, and also Anya Taylor. You remember her from Queen's
They're
Gambit.
actually calling this, excuse me, they're actually calling this dark romance online, genre-wise.
Well, you know what?
Dark romance and
That
action, and then you get like a little bit of horror and action, I
I
guess.
don't.
It's
Well, I think the horror is like maybe a little exaggerated. Like it's not really scary or anything.
no, but they were kind of balancing on that line with the creatures, I guess.
Yeah. So that's so it stars Miles Teller from Top Gun Maverick and Anya Taylor that you might remember from Queen's Gambit. That's kind of like the series that kind of propelled her into stardom or to get
Hmm.
stuff like that. And she's been getting a lot of very good roles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
She's
Gorge,
unique. I
yes,
think that's what it is. Yeah.
yeah. So the Gorge is essentially what they call it a dark romance or an action thriller stuff like that. The whole premise of the story is that there's this gorge in some part of the world where we do not know, undisclosed, and
Right.
there are these two towers on the opposite side of the gorge where soldiers from the east, and that is Russian or former Soviet Union, all the Russian soldiers, is posted on the eastern side of the tower. As you can see, there are two towers right there. And then on the west, either a British or an American soldier is posted there for 1 year, and they are completely isolated from the rest of the world. They're cut
Hmm.
off from the world. They have no
No
communication with
contact. No. Yeah.
yeah, no contact. No, the only contact that they have is they just got to make a radio check with whoever their superior is or something like
Once a
that.
month. I thought
Once
that
a
was
month.
crazy.
Exactly.
Because if
Once a
nothing
month.
happens, a month is too late. Like,
Exactly. Once a month. And so essentially they're just like, what the
and no
hell are
one
we
knows about it. The whole
No
story is
one
that
knows about it.
absolutely no one in the world knows about this
Knows
gorge.
about it. This stuff is so secretive to the point that the British soldier that Miles Taylor's character Levi was relieving told him that listen, ever since after World War II, every president and every Russian president does not even know about this. That is how secretive this gorge is. And 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 he's wondering like, so what are we doing here? We're
Yeah,
guarding.
he seems like he's not even believing that it's anything at first.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, and the two towers are, along the lines of the towers, you got like all these weapon systems, all these guns that are meant to just fire on whatever is coming through that gorge.
Mhm.
And so essentially that's the whole premise of the movie. And obviously you can see that there's a little bit of like a romantic picture right there. So we'll get more into that. So overall, what did you think about the film?
So I think this is going to be an interesting discussion because I'm sensing that you're going to be all like, I have 5 reasons why I really should watch this movie. And I was actually, my 5 reasons are the cons. I could come up with one reason to watch it.
Can't believe it.
Okay, so, and I can start that with my first reason because I want to preface that my goal when we're talking about these things is to go from that movie maker's perspective. So I want to get past the point where I'm not saying, look, I won't recommend this movie because it's just not my kind of movie. You know what I mean? Like I would never go ahead and say, don't waste your time with it because as a movie maker, even if a movie was really terrible, I would still be like, you know what? There's probably a demographic that would enjoy it or would appreciate all the work that has been put into it. Like I'm over here knowing how many thousands of people, partially, are standing behind all of this and are passionate about this project. So just because it's not my thing, I still wouldn't say don't go watch it. Like I would still say, sure, go watch it, but if it comes to like the reasons when I'm supposed to come up with all these reasons, I watched the trailer after you told me about it because I hadn't heard of it. I live behind a rock a little bit, so I don't usually know what's new. And I watched the trailer and I was super intrigued. I was like, okay, that sounds really, really cool. And then the movie was just not what the trailer promised to me.
I, I can't, you know what?
Insane.
You might be the only person on the planet that's disappointed with this film. Even
I don't,
Trey.
well, I don't know. I've literally never spoken to anyone who's seen it either. So,
No, I swear to God, Trey's looking forward to our unboxing of this movie. He loves the
oh
movie.
really?
He's like
Oh
he can't
no.
wait to watch
And I'm
this.
over here like maybe it's the European in me. I don't
Oh,
know.
I'm telling you, Trey's about to blow his own head off. Like, oh my God, I can't believe Marty doesn't like this movie.
He's
What's
gonna
wrong with
fire
her?
me.
Exactly. He's gonna fire you. Trey, if you're watching this, you need to have her head checked. Because okay, so
Right.
let me start off with the one of the reasons why I really like this movie is the whole
Uh-huh.
premise of the movie. The whole premise of just this mystery of what the gorge is about.
Hmm.
Like this whole like we just discussed, like these two people or their predecessors and stuff, like going all the way back to after World War II, that they're left alone in these two towers.
Hmm.
They have their whole year's supply of food and whatever they need, and then but yet they have no contact with the outside world other than they have to like do their 1 month check in with their superiors and stuff like that to make sure okay everything's good, yada yada yada. But then they don't really know what they're guarding against, but they have all these sophisticated weapon systems all over the mountain ranges of the gorge, and all that kind of stuff. And they're just there to protect whatever. They're protecting people from protecting the gorge, or they're preventing whatever is in the gorge from coming out. And I
I'm
found that
coming out.
very, very interesting, and very fascinating because when I saw the trailer, I was like, hmm, this sounds very interesting. This is very
Well,
different.
in the trailer they made it sound like it was freaking hell. Like they even used that word, right?
Yes, yes, they did.
So
They did. I thought it was I
the
thought it was
idea, great. I
the
have
idea
to,
was
yes.
I
Hmm.
like the idea. It was very different. And I mean, for me to just think of you just staying in just this isolated place. And like I said, we don't even know where in the world this stuff is situated in. It could
Right.
be, it looks like it's in Europe, given the
I don't
landscape and
know.
everything. What do you think? You don't think it's in Europe?
I don't, my assumption was that it's somewhere in Russia because Russia has all this land that nobody knows what's there. But it
That
would be
is
too
true.
cold in Russia over there, I think. So maybe not. I
Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
I think it's in Europe because it's snowing. It's probably like it's very northern part of Europe, maybe like somewhere. Well, you could be right. It could be like some remote area in Russia. But then, but
Yeah,
then,
because Europe isn't even, if you think about it, Europe is not big enough for there to be so much land that nobody knows about. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Europe is way more populated than that.
exactly. And so, and if you look at the map
And
of
there is
Russia, there
places in Russia that no one's ever gone because
exactly.
why?
Yeah, exactly. Because I look at the map of Russia and I see like there's this whole vast land, and I'm just like, are those places even inhabited by people and stuff like that? And probably not. They're just a whole. But so it could be somewhere in Russia. We don't know. But that's the whole premise of it was what really, interested me, and I got interested in this movie and interest me, and I found it so fascinating. So that was one reason why I really really was drawn to the story. It was just
Hmm.
it was just something creative. I always like putting myself in terms of writing. Like, could I have thought of something like this? You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
No,
Could
then
yeah.
so yes, the premise, the idea, very
Mm,
cool, very new, very unique. The story is what we've seen a million times before. And maybe it's my mindset right now. Maybe it is like, you go through phases, and right now I'm in a phase where I'm just kind of like, yeah, but like we've got the Russians and we've got the Americans and we've got this whole thing again. You know what I mean? Like it's
No, but
happened a
this
million
it's
times.
a different okay, it's a story that we've seen before. Well, I don't know. Have we seen this story before? Well, okay. The fact that the Russians and the
Yes.
Americans are
Romeo and
teaming up.
Juliet is the story.
Yeah. Okay, the
No, I
whole
mean,
fact that you have East and West coming together for a
yeah.
great purpose, we've seen that before, but
Yes.
not told in this way. I don't think we've seen
No,
something.
no.
Yeah,
And
we've never seen
and
anything this way.
so and then I saw the trailer and I was super intrigued both by the what is this in the gorge and by the creatures that I'll get to that point. Um and and I did get really excited for that love story. I got excited for how this was unfolding, how they were so far apart, getting to know each other. And then it just felt like everything that was romantic between them, I already saw in the trailer.
Mm,
I
okay.
already saw all of this in the trailer, except it just took a little longer, and the feeling of that like suspense wasn't there. And again, that's why I'm saying maybe this is just a mindset thing, when you're really tired, you want it to go faster or whatever it is. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I saw it. You probably should have watched it twice because when I watched it the second time, I saw
And
a whole.
and I did that with most of the movies that we were talking about, and I didn't have the time to watch it the second time.
Oh,
So
okay.
that is definitely a possibility that I'm missing something there.
Okay.
Because
Go
the
to.
second time you see it different. You see
Oh,
more
when
things
when
that you
I saw it
don't.
the second time, I even loved it even more. So let's go to your next point. What's the next one that your reason why you
So
just
my okay, so my all right. So and probably a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but the chemistry between them was just not there.
okay,
This
okay.
guy is just so blah. Like, I don't know. He was just like, he tried being charming and it just didn't come out right. She's adorable. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't even have to try hard. She's cute. But he was just like, no. Like,
Okay, you know what? I thought about that because the first time I saw it, I didn't really get anything with regards to their chemistry. So you're right about that. The second time I saw it, uh maybe I probably didn't see it too. So I agree with you on that one. I didn't see it. I didn't see the chemistry between them.
you could
And
argue that the relationship, how it started, and based on what type of people they are,
mhm,
that it would be a little more mechanic, that they would still, have their knife in their pockets because they're those types of people or whatever.
mm,
But still, with the story being that they find each other and end up together and save each other and jump into the gorge after each other, you would think the passion would be more. I don't know. I just didn't feel that, you know? And we've seen all of these other films now where we've seen the chemistry be like really on point. So the chemistry could have been better. No matter, you
Oh,
know what I mean?
okay, so my number one reason why, I mean, we're probably going to jump ahead to my number one reason because it
It's
ties
okay.
into what you're saying about the chemistry. I love the love story aspect of the film. I
Mhm.
really loved it. Now, maybe the chemistry, I will give you the chemistry part. I didn't really feel it, but I did feel the love story, and I like the way they developed how they, because first of all, they're starting with I quote unquote text message because there's no phones, so they're using cardboards to send
Mhm.
messages, and they're using they're using their work, they're reading each other's
They
text.
have to, they can't see or hear each other. That's the crazy
Yeah, with
part.
the
It's like,
cardboard. So they're writing all the messages on the cardboards and they're
and
flashing at each
that
other.
I have to say, that part where he ends up showing up and they're suddenly close to each other and it is like really awkward for a second.
Hmm.
But that was good. Like that's of course, because that's like being, I don't know, texting on Tinder or being long distance over whatever Skype for decades and then suddenly standing in front of each other. And like I remember this with my husband, that it wasn't awkward or anything because we've obviously known each other and been together before, but I remember one thing really vividly, and that was that when we would talk to each other on Skype every single day, and on the phone every single day, and then at the airport when we saw each other, our voices were different.
Oh, I
You
didn't
know,
know.
like his voice in person was different because
Mm,
you're always like in this like, so it's like a weird moment. So that was good. Like that made sense that it was a little awkward.
okay. Well, I mean,
I don't
she
see the
made it.
point that she's freaking sending him to take a shower. Like
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
kind
I
of
was about to say that. She said, like, yeah, you stink. I'm like, he's sweating. What do you expect? Like, you stink or something. Like, yeah, go take a shower.
also
I can
he's
let
been
you
like
inside.
all by himself over there. I don't know,
I'm sure she stinks too now, maybe a little differently. I don't know. But yeah, I just like the way they were able to like fall in love with the fact that the fact that they couldn't fall in love the way that normal people will fall in love, which
Mhm.
we can easily go to the person's house, we can see the person every day, we can call the person and stuff like that, we can text. They were just, I mean, apart,
Well, and
miles apart.
I think it's worth mentioning that they showed Sigourney Weaver in it, and she was very clearly selecting her people a very specific way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
It was
I'm
a
gonna touch on
person
that.
that wasn't gonna crave that, was the
Yes.
idea, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I
Um,
was gonna touch on that part too because I wanted to just finish with the love story part of it because
yeah.
I think essentially every movie's just gotta have a love story. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm.
think if they didn't have a love story for this, it wouldn't have worked. Even though the chemistry
Oh
between the
yeah,
actors,
no, I mean the story, yeah, yeah, yeah. That
yeah,
was the best part about
that
like,
was really
and
the best part. And the fact
yeah.
and the way, like I said, they couldn't talk to each other, they couldn't communicate with each other. They had to literally fall in love with each other from miles away, just using cardboards and
But can I
communicating.
just say,
Hmm?
if you do this where you isolate people for a whole year,
They
and
will. It
this
will
is
be.
if
Yeah.
there is a woman and a man, it was gonna happen. Like you have to do put two men or two women, otherwise it's not gonna like it's gonna happen.
Yeah. It's
Like that
gonna
was a
happen.
mistake on their part, right?
It's. I wonder if this is the first time they've ever had like a man and a woman on both sides throughout
It's
this whole
definitely
operation.
possible.
Yeah.
But
So
she
it's
was
good.
also, and that's the other thing. Um, they made me really care about her because from the beginning with the story before she got there, her past, her father, they made me really care about her. And they showed her that she was just a little rebellious anyway. Like she wasn't gonna just sit there all by herself. She was gonna make contact with the one person that's over there. If not, she was gonna jump in that gorge to find out what the fuck is going on. Like that's the kind of person she is.
I think you're right. I think she was going to do that. She was going to
Yeah.
do that, even regardless of the fact that whatever prompted her to go in there in the first place,
Yeah.
or with the film. I think just out of curiosity and out of boredom, be like, what the fuck is in here? Let me go in and just find
Yeah.
out by myself. So
But
the
then again, they did that with her. I didn't care about him. They
what
didn't
could they
show
have done?
his story. He was
What could
just
they?
boring. Well, he did they explain his past? Not really. Like not
Well, they did. Well, they did say he was also a sniper, and
yeah, he stopped working because
he
he got
stopped working.
depressed
But
or
then he,
whatever.
you
They
know, he's a
considered him
contract.
unfit.
Yeah, he's
They
contract with
didn't
the
fully
Marines.
explain, so I guess the understanding is maybe he did lose his family or something. But the way he was and the way his story was, he was just blah. For the lack of a
Yeah,
better word.
I now that you say it that way, I can see it now. Now his
And
side,
I
his
hate
story
like I don't there's no offense to the actor, okay? He's not a bad actor. It's just the character and his like demeanor was just
was bland.
I know that they yes, and I think they went for broody, but it didn't come out this way. Does
Hmm.
that, you know what I mean?
I'm trying to see.
Because he was supposed to be a poet and he did do every so often, he did that really cute, charming smile at her and stuff, but it just didn't, it just wasn't it.
You think
Like,
it's
I
the
feel like,
wrong actor?
yes, I think it's the wrong actor and I think he needed a better backstory. Because again, I cared about her a lot
Yeah.
because there was another person in, and with him, I guess the understanding is that he's already lost everyone. He didn't care
Mm.
because he's already lost everyone. But even then, you can tell and show that story better.
Well,
That's my opinion. Not that I
yeah.
could do better, but
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. They didn't do a good job on his backstory. They did a good job on her story because, with the father, and then when Valentine's Day came, we know what happened during Valentine's Day.
yeah.
She's crying and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So, it gave we empathized with her character a little bit more.
Yes.
They gave her character a lot of personality. She liked music. She liked to dance. She was a wild spirit and stuff like that. He was just
Mhm.
very kind of monotone, even though he was supposed to be a poet. We didn't really get
Yeah, he
um
liked poetry, but it was so like he just kind of recognized the name in the beginning when the conversation with the British guy, who, by the way, had a lot more personality, and I was so disappointed that he was gone so fast.
don't say it, don't say it, don't say
I wish he
it.
wasn't in the
Ah,
tower anymore.
don't say what happens to it because that was to me was like, oh, this is what's happening. This is what this is
Oh
about.
yeah, it got serious then. You knew that they are not like,
Yeah, this is serious, and that touches on the next point I wanted to make,
go
which
ahead.
is um okay, we know the gorge is like a secret that these governments are keeping, and it's so secretive that even the leaders of these two countries or these three countries don't even know it exists.
Right.
So what secrets are, I think it one of the high
How
what
do you
this
keep
story
these secrets?
no, I think it's what are these what I think the story is also highlighting or pinpointing is what secrets are our governments keeping from us?
Hmm.
And what lengths will they go through to keep these secrets? And do
And
we
that
as
again has been told before, though.
yeah, yeah, of course, yeah. And also,
Especially Russia. Sorry,
is that
go on.
is that the Poland coming out of you? Okay.
Yes.
That's the anyone well, people don't know the history of that, you got to go read that off or stuff like that. But anyway, I was also going to say, is that something, and these secrets and the fact that they go through these many lengths to keep these things secret, do we as everyday citizens, do we even deserve to know all these secrets? Is it better off that we live in like in a blissful ignorance? Because
Okay, so the idea being and the truth is not always that, but
mhm,
they will tell you that it is for your own good because you are preventing mass panic, which
yeah,
can't
that's
happen.
yeah, that's
But
why I
then, of
said
course, we find out that again, they always have ulterior motives.
yeah. That's why I asked, is it better that we just live in blissful ignorance? Because there's something that her character says that my father always said that, too much information is not good. There was some I think I
No,
wrote
that's
the quote.
exactly. Yeah.
I think
Ignorance
I
is
wrote the
bliss. And
I think he said he wrote the quote here. Yeah, she said, you don't want to know the truth. Better that you don't know the truth. Too much truth pulls sadness in your heart and madness in your mind. Too much sad, then you see that
exactly.
things are not as beautiful as you thought they were. Things are not as
Yeah,
things
and
are not as simple as you thought they were. We're
you
not
can
as
get
safe
to
as
a
we think we're
point where
safe.
you can't even focus on the good stuff anymore because that other stuff pulls you away from it at all times.
Exactly, exactly. So, and I think that's one thing I really took from this film because when we say what happened to the British soldier, and then we think of like, okay, the other soldiers that have been there who have probably gone through the same thing. Like, how is it that they've been able to keep this thing so secretive?
Mm-mm,
You
mm-mm.
know,
The
and then
only way.
as the
You know
only way
how it
you can.
is. If there's no survivors, there must have been at least one survivor to tell the story. Like,
Exactly. And then like I said, and then I start thinking of other things around the world in real world that, what are the powerful governments in this world? What have they done in terms of like keeping things secretive that we don't need to know?
mhm.
And then, do we deserve to know this stuff? Or, do we even want to know this? And like
Do
you
we
said,
even want to know this? That's what it is. Because me,
exactly.
I'm over here wanting to close my eyes to everything that's happening because I want to like enjoy
Exactly.
my kids
I don't think
growing
I
up.
want,
I
I
don't
don't
want
know
to
if
worry.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think I want to know. I don't know if I want to know. I don't know, because now you have to
especially
think.
if you can't do anything about it, because that's the
Exactly.
thing. It's not
Exactly.
anything that we can do to change it, to help it, then
I don't want to
what,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
So
knowing when you die. Like you don't want to know that.
I don't want to know that. Yeah. But no, I think I want to know that one. How I die, so I can
No,
prepare for
because
that.
yeah, but that's the point.
You're not gonna
Instead of
know.
like living, that's
Hmm.
always in the back of your head, haunting you and chasing you, being like, "Oh, I only have so much time." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Better
So
not
now,
knowing.
if we had to write a movie based on government secrets, what would be, since you said like we've already had this kind of story before,
Yeah,
what would you?
Aliens is one. Like Aliens is very similar to this. Every story about aliens, the government already knew. Like
Okay, the government already
trying
knew,
to
and then we
find
start.
ET and put him back because they knew.
Exactly.
Like
Well, how about this one? I was thinking of something like, let's see. What would be a good government's secret story to do that probably has never been done before? Um, hmm, I don't know. I think they've all been done. The aliens is
there's a
the
lot of
easiest
stuff been
one.
done, yeah.
Aliens is the easiest one. How about let's see if we can do something a little bit more human. Like let's say they've already started putting people in there's already like a there's already like a they've already started communicating with aliens. You know what I'm saying? They maybe some they've already
Did you
started.
see Three Body Problem?
No, I've not seen that. That's the same thing.
It's incredible.
Is that a
But
movie or a documentary?
it's a movie limited series. So like I think it's 8 episodes or six. Very long episodes, so like it's like a movie in itself every time.
Mm.
But it's written originally by I believe a Chinese writer, and there's like multiple books, but the part of the story really is that a many years ago a woman has responded to aliens. They caught on contact and she's responded to the aliens and they've been on the way. But they're so many light years away, you know.
No, how about this one? From what you just said, I just thought of it. Like we've started to communicate with aliens, and we have there's a group of people that we've that are brilliant people from around the world that we brought together, and they've started to learn the language of the aliens. Like the aliens are, they we started to learn that language, and somebody kind of discovers this, and then now the government is trying to like stop them from bringing this out to bring it. That would be an interesting premise.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Watch
Kind
Three Body Problem. I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay, we'll see it. All right, let's talk about
Very, very
okay.
good.
They actually get into the gorge. I'm not going to tell you how they get into the gorge, but they actually get into the gorge. And the first thing, well, I know
I
you're going
think
to
it's
talk
in the
about,
trailer, but telling
well,
you, I think that was part of it. That I watched the whole trailer and a lot of really cool moments
mhm.
have already been shown there. And we already know, like, I already knew this was going to happen. And
I
I'm
mean,
like, I
yeah,
wish I hadn't.
Yeah, I
I
mean
guess.
they're gonna
So.
get into the gorge. That I knew that. I didn't have to
Well,
see.
yes,
I mean,
yes,
they're
but
gonna get in
how?
there one way. I didn't, one way they were gonna get in there. But I like what I took away from being inside of the gorge was the different use of color of each section of the gorge. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? There was one section where it seemed like it was green. Another section, it seemed like it was yellow. Another one seemed like it was red. Another one seemed like it was blue. And the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, why is it different colors like that? The second time I saw it, I think that's a good technique in cinematography where they're trying to give each section of the gorge its own identity. So the yellow one is kind of like that labyrinth of of a web, you know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? That thing that webbish thing that seemed like it had its own life, it was breathing and stuff like that. That was it gave it its own life. The green was like when they were around the trees and stuff like that, and the plants coming together, that gave it its own life. The red, that's when the soldiers, what I'm saying, from years past were on the horsebacks and stuff like that.
Hmm.
The blue seemed like when they were walking through that wilderness, and it just seemed like it was a nuclear attack, and it was everything was just so barren.
I didn't even, I
You
didn't
didn't,
even catch
you didn't.
on.
Yeah, oh, I caught on to that. I caught on to that the first time, but I didn't know how to explain it. The second time I saw it, I was like, oh, they're sectioning off. They're using color to denote each section of the
Hmm.
gorge and giving it its own characteristic. And I thought that was
Yeah,
very brilliant. That was good
definitely.
use of color because I remember Trey always, whenever he always talked about what's the color of the scene. You know what I'm saying? And what's the color? And I never understood what he meant by that. He was talking about color of the scene, color of the scene. And this kind of explained it to me in
I
a
get
very
what you're
big.
saying. It's like what's the mood of it, right? Or like,
Exactly. Yeah.
mhm.
So what's the mood of it? Like, is it a happy scene? Yeah, so you got to use happy colors, as a way to denote that kind of thing. Is it sad? Is it
Yeah.
violent? You know what I'm saying? Is it
Okay.
moody? Yeah. So I think that was it. So Trey, if you're watching this, I finally figured out what you meant by color. What's the color of the scene? I finally figured it out. You know what I'm saying? It didn't before because I was like, yeah, 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 I get it. I didn't know.
No, it makes sense. And I feel like I didn't even ever think about this, but what I did notice whenever I was on Tulsa King,
Mm-hmm.
I saw that you had the camera people, you had the DP, then you had the multiple directors, because on a big set like that, you have multiple directors. They were all looking at the screen, and then they were moving people around like moving background extras around, which felt like partially based on their shirt color in order
Mm-hmm.
to, in the end, have like the aesthetically pleasing like scene.
Oh
It
wow.
was amazing to see when you have a lot of money and a lot of people working, like how much you can do because they would literally set them up so that you frame out like the main characters and everything else, like the light and the color flow, that everything flows good together so the whole picture is good, you
Hmm.
know? So yeah, it makes sense. I guess it makes sense to then also, yeah, get your characters, your actors dressed in a specific color mood of a color to match the moment. I never
So
even
that
thought about like
yeah,
wardrobe matching to that.
I never thought about that. But now with the
It's awesome.
cinematographer thing, and like we said, with Trey always saying something to me about what's the color of the scene and stuff like that. Now I understand like color does play, your cinematography in terms of color does play a very vital role in
Yeah.
framing the picture of the scene and telling us what the scene is about, the mood of the scene and all that kind of stuff. Because each time the color changed, I noticed it, and the second time I saw it, I felt the mood that
Hmm.
it was trying to denote, and I thought that was brilliant cinematography right there. Why they decided to do it that way, I don't know, but it's something I would look to employ moving forward. You know,
Yes, we're learning. That's a good one.
we're learning, and we're teaching the audience this.
Hmm.
So yeah, and then one of the last things, another important thing, I think the message with regards that the film was trying to portray with regards to the two characters being on this opposite side of the gorge and they cannot
Hmm.
communicate. They're not supposed to communicate. but even though they end up communicating at first with the cardboards, is the need for human contact. How important human contact is.
Mhm.
This movie showed that human contact is very, very important. That no matter what, no matter how much we try to isolate ourselves, whether it's through, texting or
Mhm.
being on the computer, playing video games and whatever, however way people isolate themselves, at the end of the day, human contact is important. It's very important.
Yeah.
And I can imagine somebody being in there for like a whole year and not talking to anybody. You'll go insane.
Mhm. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Thought
There's
what
stories about that.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
human contact was the main thing that I got. That's another thing I got from the story. And I think
Yeah, so I
it's
guess the idea being that the Sigourney Weaver character and all those people have calculated like how long can we keep them before they lose their mind and just drop into the gorge to like end
yeah,
it or whatever. Oh, a year is fine, I guess, and then they just switch every year or
yeah,
whatever.
they switch every year. Yeah. I don't even
Unless
think if I
someone
can
decides, hey, I'm gonna go another year. Like, who does that?
I don't think anybody's going a year. Now
Exactly.
here's the thing though. Could you do it? Could you isolate yourself for a year like
Oh,
that?
hell no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No, especially the fact that you have a family. Could you be like, you know what? We're gonna pay you $1 million cash or $10 million cash to just stand guard in this building for like a whole year. You don't have no contact with your family, no contact with friends. You
Mm-mm.
just stand guard and protect this gorge. Could you do it for a year?
No, that's why they picked these people that had like nothing else. Like,
Yeah, no families, nothing like that. Yeah, I don't think I could do it. No. I would probably start communicating with that person on the other side. Like, listen, bro, we're gonna have to start talking,
or
whoever you
just
are,
again, drop down.
or
Find out
we're
what the
gonna
hell
go
is
into
going
this
on. I want to solve
gorge
this problem so I can
and
go home.
yeah, or see what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
And I like how they
Maybe you
took
can make friends with them down there.
and I like the fact that they took matters into their own hands and they solved the problem. They solved the problem. Now, this is my thing I don't like about the movie. I like the fact that they brought Sigourney Weaver into the movie, but they didn't do anything with her character. I don't know, maybe they shouldn't or they should. I would have liked for them to like develop her character a little bit more to like know a bit more about who she worked for and what she did and all that kind of stuff. Maybe they didn't have time. She's not the primary focus of the story, so they didn't need to. I would have.
No, but casting Sigourney Weaver kind of gives you the obligation to give her more than that, right?
Yeah. But I just like the fact that she was on the show. I mean, Sigourney Weaver is just, when I saw it there, I was like, is that Sigourney Weaver? I'm like, what's the, like, so it gave me the remnant. I was like thinking back to like the aliens, you know what I'm saying?
Alien.
When she did
Yeah.
aliens and stuff like that. So that's probably why they brought her back because it's almost similar, like you said, to the
And I
story.
was gonna say, and that is partially probably my other aspect why I was just a little, I don't I don't want to say I have a better idea, but I was a little disappointed and like what the gorge ended up being.
I
And I
can't
think
believe
it's just
it.
because, and I mean I was very, very excited, and that is my big pro point. My big pro point is that that movie was absolutely visually amazing. Cinematography was absolutely beautiful, CGI, whatever, the monsters absolutely beautiful. It was done amazing, and everything, the whole cinematography, like every scene was set great. Starting from their communication, flirtation, everything. Her before and after the gorge, there's a lot more color. It's a lot brighter because
Mhm,
she's, home with her dad, or she's made it out and she's at the coffee shop. Everything is bright and shiny, and like it was always a little dark. It was always a little almost just black and white at the
mhm,
like by the gorge. Like visually, absolutely amazing film, and the I want to say the White Walkers because that's what they reminded me of a little bit. Some of them, the guys on the horses,
mhm.
but all of those, like whatever creatures, zombies, whatever they were, um, very, very cool
Yeah,
looking.
yeah.
But the story again down there, with it being, oh, during the war something happened and they're still studying it. Like it was just like I kind of called that, and it was like, it could have been more interesting than that, I feel like.
I can't
But I don't know
believe
how more interesting. It's not like I have a better idea.
oh, I can't believe you're giving it. Oh, so in other words, so I'm disappointed that you didn't like it.
I
I thought
didn't
this.
dislike the movie. I just,
All right, would
if
you
I'm
give it a?
supposed to come up with five things, here's your five
Yeah, you can.
things.
Yeah. So, are you giving it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I thought we're rating. Can we not do continue the rating? Thumbs up and thumbs
Oh,
down is too hard for me. I don't ever want to give anything a thumbs down because again, so many people have worked on it and there's a huge demographic that I know will enjoy it.
oh,
Just because I didn't, it doesn't mean exactly, but that's why I wouldn't
all
like
right. So, what would you
I
give it
wouldn't
then?
tell people don't waste your time with it. Again, it was beautiful. Just
Yeah.
for that, it's worth watching. You
So,
know,
how?
just
So, what would you give it out of 10?
four. Yeah.
That's essentially saying don't go watch it.
No. No, it's not.
4 out of 10. That's essentially saying don't go watch. That's
Well,
like
then
what?
give it a five then, because I did give the last movie a nine. So
Yeah, you gave the last. Which one was that? That's the Kingsman, right? Yeah. All
that
right.
was a
So I'm
genius
I'm giving
movie.
I'm giving this. I don't want to give it an 8, so I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a
You've been
7.
consistently giving everything a seven,
I've been giving everything a 7.
six or seven. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just think when you start getting 8 or 9, you're going into classic mode. You're going into classics. You know what I'm saying? You're putting it on the same stratosphere as The Godfather or Casablanca or Gone with the Wind, or Aliens or Aliens 2. You're putting it in those in that stratosphere of like
That's a big shoes to fill.
exactly. So I can't, it's gonna be hard for me to put movies like that in that category. So for 8, 9, and 10, you've got to really be like that means I'm comparing you to the huge classic. That's why I said you gave in
Well, I
Kingsman
thought to me
9.
that just means I would sit there and literally watch it at least once a year again. And for example, with Kingsman, that's what I do. I'll watch it. I'll like just hang out and watch it again and again and again and again. And I've seen it
Well,
like 10 times already.
The Gorge, I think I can watch this again and again and again because I truly loved it. I love their love story. I love how, you know, the writing part of the love story was very good for me because, I just the way they were able
Oh,
to
and can
communicate.
we please address as well that they have, it feels like Hollywood is starting to get the gist of like this whole like graphic nudity thing isn't important and it doesn't have to happen. Like it was just suggested and blurred. I loved that.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Like it was
Thank
clear
you.
what's going on. We don't have to
I
like
don't, yeah, we didn't need
see
to
the whole
see any.
thing.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, because the first time I saw it, and when I was watching the second time, I couldn't remember. I was like, did they have sex? I can't remember. So then they did show that they kissed, and then as the clothes were coming off or whatever, like that, it just blurred out and cut away to
And
them
then she's talking
already.
about dancing. Yeah. No, but I think it has to do with a lot of actors now coming out saying like I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
because
Especially
we
she,
shouldn't
they're
have
both
to, right?
married, right? I think they're both married.
Probably, I don't
I
know.
think they're both married. So yeah, I'm just like, yo, I don't need to do this. Like, we can just kiss and it's the audience gets it. We get it.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
We get it. We get that. Okay, they've made love. Let's move on to the next thing. Keep the story going. I just think a lot of these directors, they just want to be porn directors. They should just go to porn. And
It's it's partially for like the wow and shock factor because people go watch it because they all heard that you see so much booty or whatever. And then we've been become desensitized to the point where that's really not a thing anymore. Um, and unless it's part of a story, like unless it's like a key part of a story, which I can't think of one right now, but I'm sure there is stories where it's like, okay, but this guy was a very specific, like, I don't know. But I just don't see why we would have to dwell on it.
well, I would say this, a key part, if you're going to show something like that, it has to be like, okay, maybe she was sexually assaulted or something like that. But there's a way you can shoot it without even being too graphic. There are ways you can shoot a sex scene that you
Hmm.
don't have to show anything and you can and protect the actors where they don't have
Hmm.
to feel like, okay, if I don't do this, my career's over, or I'm going to get blackballed, or you have to think about, these people have families, they have husbands, they have wives, they have kids. like
Exactly.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you're working with me as a director, I'm not going to shoot a graphic sex scene. The most you're going to do is kiss and lock lips and no tongue.
And even that, you can make it look like people are kissing without them actually
Yeah,
making out.
you can still even shoot. There's a way you can shoot that without them even like locking lips. I don't you I That's one of the reasons why I love the old Hollywood classics. You know what I'm saying? They didn't show any nakedness or any sex scenes, but they suggested it and you got it and you knew what happened. And like I said, they did a good job with that. They
Yeah.
didn't show they just kept this because that's not important to the story. Yeah, they made love, bam, move on to the next. Let's move on to the next scene.
They
And
had to
it
take
was
a shower. They had to.
Yeah, he had to take. And then, what? Why the hell did she take his clothes and put it far away, and then wanted him to run naked across the field to go get the clothes on the line? That's something a chick would do.
Is that what
That's
she
what.
did? I didn't. I missed that part.
Yeah, remember when she
Did
told
she
him like, "Go
maybe
take."
hang them out so they like air
Yeah,
out and they don't
yeah,
smell any? Oh
yeah,
no, she brought him other clothes.
she brought the clothes to him, but instead of leaving it by the door, she put it a little further away. So when he got done, he was like looking for the clothes, and he had to run it. And she's looking from the window, looking at him naked, running the clothes. I'm like, that's typical what a girl would do, like playing
I
jokes
would have
like
never
that.
thought of it, but she would. She's
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, right. No, can you imagine a guy doing that? You'd be like, oh, you creep.
Oh yeah, that's the double standard right there.
Yeah. And then I like their little banter about, snipers, like, how what was your longest range and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
she's the one that did that Yemen shot. She's the one, but she didn't want to say it, but she kept like, "Oh, you're not the one that did the Yemen shot, so I wonder who did the Yemen shot." And I'm like, "We know it's you. You did it.
Mhm.
You're trying to, So that was I like that little bouncer and stuff like that. But all in all, like I said, I give this film a
Definitely
7.
cute.
I can't give it an 8 or 9 because that would be putting it in the classic realm. I don't think it's a classic. I think it falls short a little bit of being that classic thing. But I enjoy I like the cinematography, especially when it got into the gorge and how the different colors were used as a way to denote the
Yeah,
different
I'll have to watch that part just for the colors again.
yeah. I like the action sequences. We didn't talk about that, but like the gunfight when those monsters were coming out the first time and how they just the graphics of that was just so very, like,
Mm.
oh my God, this looks so cool. I like, then the whole question of like the question of, you know, the importance of human contact. That was something I took away from that, and also the fact that what secrets are governments hiding, and the lengths to which they're going to
Well,
go
and
to.
and then again, this is also showing the whole, they'll tell you, oh no, we have to keep it a secret to, prevent mass panic. Truth is, we could have destroyed the whole thing forever ago, but we're still studying it.
Exactly, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
So it's always a little bit of like a self-centered agenda there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And also, like I said, and I know again the mystery, the whole premise of the story was very um was um was very exciting for me. Just putting two people from the East, Russia, and then two people and somebody else from the West, whether it's Britain or or the United States, a soldier to just stand guard in these towers and watch over the gorge, surrounded with all these weapon systems to make sure whatever is in the gorge doesn't come out.
No.
I thought that was the
Okay,
mystery of.
but so say the incident happens where the guy started coming out because she was blasting music or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And they don't notice and they don't win because they ended up fighting those. But what if they don't? And it's still 29 more days until they have to check back in with
Oh, and then they would have known that something,
what if already gone to whatever is the
yeah,
closest
they've already started
city?
crawling out and stuff. They
Yeah.
will have to nuke the place then. They will have to nuke the place. Remember, there's a fail safe for like, where they had to nuke it in case, all the protective systems shut down and then the gorge is
So
exposed.
they put their best snipers on those towers and then for a year and then that's it.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, what if those things actually was able to break through the defense system and then just kill the snipers and stuff like that? And
Yeah.
now they're all exposed. They would just have to nuke the whole place.
Yep.
you know. So, but that's 30 days, 29 days left, and they'll be like, wait a minute, they've not checked in. Something's wrong. Let's fly over there. oh, the Gorge is exposed. Send in a couple of nukes and nuke this whole place because
Right.
they're probably crawling all over the place. So yeah. So all in all, we get she gives it a 5. Marty gives it a 5. Disappointing. I give it a 7. I think you would go if you watch this, you would truly enjoy this movie. Don't listen to Marty. This is a good movie. So please, when you watch this movie, please let us know what you think in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, link, send the link, share the link out with everybody, and let us know what you got. But please let us know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave comments. What do you think about the Gorge? Do you think a 7 is a good rating out of 10, or is it a 5 out of 10? And what do you think about our reasons for why we like it and why Marty doesn't like it?
Marty doesn't.
I don't know. I don't know what's going. I don't know why she.
Maybe I
This is
just don't believe in romance anymore.
yeah. Maybe she doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I thought it was a very romantic movie to be to be isolated from the world and you're guarding the world from these monsters that are coming out and then you fall in
It's
love with your.
American and cheesy. Maybe that's what it is. I get bothered by American cheesiness.
You know what? Yeah, I don't think. You know
Have
what? It's not as cheesy as the typical cheesy films. It's not. I don't think it is.
to.
There's some really corny, cheesy love stories out there that you just be like, "Oh,
But
okay, I've seen."
I by cheesy and corny, I don't necessarily mean their love story. Their love story was fine. It's the cheesy, corny. It's always the American soldier that's protecting something. Or we're protecting the whole world, and it's like I don't know. It's
Don't worry. Listen, I'm going to write I'm probably going to write the best love story ever. Watch.
okay. I'll be
I'm
in
going
it,
to what?
right?
Well, since you don't believe in love, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Since you don't believe in love, I
Good
don't know.
actress, though.
Yeah, you'll probably be in it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway,
Wow.
so that
Okay,
yeah.
I see how it is.
Well, Trey's
Like every movie Bola likes if you want to be in this.
yeah. So Trey's gonna watch this, and I'm gonna tell Trey she didn't like this film, so you might need to fire her from that new job that you got her, that new film you got her in. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching this. We truly appreciate it, and we see. Oh, what's the next movie we're watching?
Nosferatu, right?
I saw that in the theater.
Oh, you did? I haven't seen it yet, but I have access to it, so I'm gonna.
I don't. I'm not gonna watch it again. I'm gonna go from memory because I've
Oh,
already
come
seen.
on. Was it
Oh,
actually that creepy?
it was. There were some creepy moments
Well,
there.
that's a good thing though. That's what it was supposed to do. So if it creeped you out, that's
But I did like it. I did. I liked it.
I know you said no horror, but I do remember saying that you liked this one, so and you've already seen it, so we'll do it.
Yeah, I've already
We
seen
need to
it.
talk about it. It's
We,
popular too.
yeah, we'll talk about it. So yeah, the next film is gonna be Nosferatu's. Join us next week, guys. Until then, bye.